Okay, let's look at the diagram over here to the left, these two. Okay, two terms that you need to know. Circumference, that means it's going all the way around the circle, the outside. In other words, it's kind of like saying the perimeter. That's called circumference. And then the other one is diameter. That's going right through the center from one side to the other, right through the center. That's called diameter. We'll be measuring both of these, circumference and diameter. We'll use C for circumference, and we'll use D for diameter. Okay, looking at the larger diagram, if you notice, we have all around, these are called concentric circles. In other words, they have the same center. And so we have letter A, circle A, B, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5 circles. What we need to do is go to the table below and complete the table below for each of those circles. Notice it says for each circle find, and by the way, that's the word the, just got not copied well. For each circle, find the value for C divided by D. C is circumference, D is diameter. So here's a list of the circles, A, B, X, W, and E. Those are the 5 circles right here. This column right here is for measuring in centimeters, measuring the circumference in centimeters. D, this is for the diameter, measuring that in centimeters. And then we're going to divide. I'll do the first one for you. Let's do this large one right here, letter E, the circle E. First thing we're going to do is we're going to measure the circumference. That's going around the circle. But before we do that, here's something I'd like you to do is go ahead and on the side of your paper, you'll notice that there's a ruler on the other side. So if you will, just go ahead and turn that over. Not turn it over, but fold it over. So that we can use this for measuring. Okay? Fold that over, and then we'll use that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and measure letter E circle all the way around, circumference, going all the way around. To do that, I use a string. And if you do not already have a knot, you may want to put a knot on one of the ends. If I can do that real quick. If you've already got one there, that's fine. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right there at the diameter mark. And I'm just going to kind of go around, just kind of move it around slowly. Keep this, actually you don't have to hold it. Once you put it there, that's fine. After that you can take your finger off. Just make sure you don't take your finger off of this one. So I'm keep moving it around. I guess I am taking my finger off, but you can see that this is the length right there that I've gone through. From there to there. Just don't let go with both hands. Keep one hand always on it. Okay, so I'm just going to go halfway. And the reason why is because I'm going to double it. So I went halfway, and then I kind of just pinch it with my fingers. So this distance is halfway around there. The reason why I'm going halfway is because my ruler does not go the entire distance around. So now I'm going to measure that halfway length. And so I'm going to put that knot right on the 0. I know it's kind of dark, sorry about that. Right on the 0. That big line with the 0, that's where you start from. Put that right there. And I'm going to measure it. Now I can see that it's more than 16. In fact, I'll zoom in a little bit for you. You can see that's right at the edge of my fingernail there. It's more than 16. It's 16 point something. So you want to get as accurate as possible in your measurement. And so I'm going to kind of take a look here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4. I'm going to call it 16.4. Okay, it's hard to see because my fingernail's right in the way, but I'm going to go with 16.4. So I'm going to go back over here. Now, that's not the entire length. I only went halfway. So I'm just going to double it. So if I have 16.4, I'm just going to write this in here. If I have 16.4, now I'm going to have to double it. So I'm just going to add those together. 16.4 and 16.4, how much is that together? So that is 0.8. Okay, and then 6 and 6 is 12. Carry the 1, so 32.8. All right, so 32.8 is the distance. Excuse me, is the distance going all the way around. I just measured halfway and then doubled it. That's kind of a shortcut. Okay, so that's how we measure circumference. You're going to do that to the other circles also. The next thing I want to do is measure the diameter. Okay, so I want the diameter of this large circle going all the way across. So again, take your string, which I lost mine, found it. All right, and now I'm going to measure all the way across for this circle, because that's the diameter of the big circle, is all the way across. So again, put your knot, and it's not going to be perfect, but I'm putting the beginning of my knot right there. I put my thumbnail there. Now I'm going to kind of pinch that. If you want to, you can also just use a marker, just kind of mark it, or a pencil, just kind of mark it, and then do it that way. Okay, now I need to measure this. This is diameter, this length right here. So I'm going to go over here, turn this around, and measure that diameter. And as I do so, again, you have to put it on 0. And I use the inside of my of the knot there. So I'm putting that right on the 0. I'm making it kind of tight, not too tight. All right, and then if I zoom in, you will see mine came out to be, it's more than 10, and it's more than 10.5. So I'm going to call it 10.6. 10.6. All right, so I will write that down here. All right, so my diameter is 10.6. Okay, so I measured my circumference and diameter. I'm going to do that to all of these circles. Okay, each one. Now, let's just take example letter A. When you're going to measure around it, and the diameter, remember, is just going through the small part right here. If you were going to do A. All right, so anyways, I did that. Now what I need to do is use a calculator. We'll do that last. And in this column right here, it's C divided by D. Circumference divided by diameter. Circumference divided by diameter. So 32.8 divided by 10.6. So right now, measure your circumference of each circle and the diameter of each circle. Do that now. Last, we'll go ahead and we'll do the calculations. Okay, one last point to make, and that is when you're measuring circumference, excuse me, remember you can go all the way around, or you can go halfway around and just double it. Also, when you're working through this, when you're measuring, okay, always keep one finger on there at all times. Okay, always keep at least one finger on there to keep it still. See, I'm kind of just working it around, measuring it. Don't just try and do it with one finger. We use two fingers, but then go ahead and always keep one finger down on there to keep it so it's not getting loose. All right.